So I'm here to talk about Final Fantasy 15. Well, Final Fantasy 16. Sorry, not 15, 16. This is why the game is going to suck. Okay? Now, from what the trailer showed, it wasn't bad. You know, when they were showing some of the medieval stuff in Final Fantasy 16, I was like, okay, alright, I see what they're doing. And then I started seeing the battle system. Look, I got no problem with Final Fantasy being action, but it hasn't been turn-based since, I don't know, Final Fantasy X. Okay? It's been, what, 18 more than that? Probably. I'm going to say probably 18 years. It's probably been 18 years since we got a turn-based Final Fantasy game. Mainline. Not side, mainline. Right? Seriously. And then this game is catering to the Devil May Cry fans. And what, Street Fighter fans? And God of War fans? Who is this game for, Square Enix? What is Final Fantasy 16 for? Who is it for? Square Enix. What is Final Fantasy 16 for? What fans are you catering to? Are you catering to the God of War fans? Are you catering to the Devil May Cry fans? Or are you catering to the Final Fantasy fans? Because I guarantee you it's not that one. I guarantee you it's not that one. You're not catering to none of the Final Fantasy fans. What's so gone bringing back the callback for Final Fantasy X? Is something wrong with that? Bringing the callback from 10? Or even the callback from 7 or 9? Just, again, update it and make it better. But yet you don't want to. The reason Final Fantasy 16 will suck and it will fail is because Square Enix just wants to do everything like this on the screen with no style or substance at all. Oh, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at this, look at this. This is a good game, right? This is a good story, right? Just because characters going like this on the screen does not tell me you have a good story or good game. That does not tell me it. That tells me that you fall off to the deep end to put stupid animation that would take fucking forever to be finished, that you should be paying attention more to your open world game. But you know, you don't want to have your open world game. And yet you're going to have other people, some stupid Final Fantasy fans. They're not Final Fantasy fans. They're fucking goddamn idiots and fucking retarded motherfuckers. Oh yeah. Let's praise Square Enix of not doing the open world of Final Fantasy anymore. Yay! Could we get turn-based now and have that stupid loading times when you're going through the walls? Square Enix hasn't, how many times have we said this shit? Square Enix hasn't learned from Final Fantasy 13, from Final Fantasy 14, or from Final Fantasy 15. They still haven't fucking goddamn learned. Are they ever going to learn? Looks like they're not, because they want to cater to stupid motherfuckers that care about only action RPG. Only action. Oh, look at the action, look at the action. Because of you motherfuckers, every game is the same now. Every game is the same. Whatever happened to you, whatever happened, like that's why I go to Nintendo shit. Because there's, at least at Nintendo stuff, there's different stuff. When I go to Xbox or Sony, I mean, I'm mostly a Sony person, but when I go to Sony, or if I look at Xbox, they're giving the same shit over and over and over again. Not to say Nintendo's not doing that shit either, but there's more companies out doing it more than others. Okay? And the thing is, too, people want sequels to Chrono Trigger or, you know, and stuff like that. And it's fine if you remaster them and all that stuff. I don't care about that. Some people do. Fuck those people, to be quite honest. Why? Because how you want your old game back, like Final Fantasy VIII, to come back to the PSN store, but yet you want it to look like from the PS1 version. Square Enix is not going to do that. You do know that, right? You do know that, right? You do know that, right? I got Final Fantasy 6. I mean, I got Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 on my PlayStation 3, and I bought all of them. All right? Seriously. Yeah, some of them might not like look all great and stuff like that, because there's some character models in those remasters of Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9, especially 8 and 9, that look like the PS1 graphics, which I don't mind, but some people do. You call this a remaster, yet you don't touch up everyone else. You just touch up the main characters and fuck everyone else, right? That's how you know these products will rush. And that's why people complain about that shit. Which I don't look at them and be like, oh, what are you talking about? No, seriously. I get what they're saying. Why would you rush that type of shit? Just to make more money. See, this is why I know the Final Fantasy IX remake will fail. Square, this is a game that is rooted into turn-based medieval. Don't make it action, you dumb motherfucking piece of shit. Don't. You idiots. Okay? What, you gonna make Final Fantasy IX the way Final Fantasy 16 looks? All flashy and shit like that? I don't care. I don't care. Why should I buy a Final Fantasy game that doesn't know that it's a Final Fantasy game? You're acting like you're God of War or Devil May Cry. You don't know who you are. I'm sorry, you don't know who you are. Final Fantasy does not know who they are. At least Dragon Quest knows what it is. And already there's some people saying that, well, maybe the next one will be action. Why are you giving that shit? Why are you saying that? Because you're so fucking desperate to play a fucking game that's action, not turn-based. That's the problem with you. That's the problem with you nowadays, motherfuckers. You want everything to be the fucking same instead of something fucking different. Seriously. Seriously. You want every game to be the same. And that's why I'm making my own fucking goddamn game. I don't care how long it fucking goddamn takes. I'm still making it. The thing is, my game has two types of gameplays. Turn-based and action. But that action is still turn-based. So no matter what, you sugarcoat it, you still have to fucking take turns, basically. Oh, it's my turn. It's the enemy's turn. It's my turn. It's the enemy's turn. That's why it's going to be in my game, motherfucker, piece of shit. All right? Look. Square is not paying attention to the Shin Megami fans or the Persona fans. Shin Megami knows what it is. Persona knows what it is. They've been doing that turn-based shit since the beginning. And yes, Persona 5 Strikers is a side game to Persona. It is a sequel to it, but it does something different still. It's action, yeah, but it's not a mainline Persona game, which is fine. That's why I don't have a problem with Square doing action RPG. I don't care if it is a mainline or just a side one. But yet, go back to your roots. That's all I'm saying. But you hate going back to your roots because you're telling yourself that if you go back to your roots, oh, it won't sell. Who told you that? Who fucking told you that? You stupid motherfucker. And then you have these stupid motherfuckers want to fucking listen to your ass. Be like, yes, no open world, yes, action RPG, See, shit like that makes me fucking hate action RPGs and makes me fucking hate Final Fantasy VII. Ever since Final Fantasy VII Remake came out, I've been loathing and disgusted by that shit. And it's funny, because I love Final Fantasy VII. I never beaten the original, but I love the atmosphere, I love the world, and I love the characters. Are the characters, like if I get to pick, like, between Final Fantasy 7 and 9, I would definitely choose 9 than over 7. Any day, of course. Because I think the characters in 9 are way better than fucking 7. Okay? I don't care if you love the characters from 7, but Final Fantasy 9 literally looks at them and be like, dude, do you know who you are? Do you know who you are? And that goes to the 7 remake. Even the original 7 is looking at the remake and saying, do you know who you are? I've seen pictures of people having the PS1 version of Cloud and the PS full version of Cloud, like holding hands and shit like that. And then one of them was like saying, "Don't let her die" and shit like that. Oh, man, fuck you. Fuck you. You're so desperate for these characters to not die off. See, this is why I fucking hate that Square's catering to you motherfuckers. Because you don't want your precious Aerith or Tifa to die. But guess what? That's real. People die and they don't come back. Okay? Alright? So stop fucking looking at Square Enix and being like, yeah, my mom didn't die. She came back. Really? Then where is your bitch? Where's your motherfucking mother? Huh? Oh, wait, she's still in the fucking goddamn grave. 6 feet under. While bugs and all that shit eating her fucking flesh. And maybe even rats are going right through it because she's probably a bad person. Oh, you don't want to hear that though, right? You don't want to hear that. You want your fucking goddamn fantasy that's not even a fucking fantasy to begin with. Like, it's so stupid how Square Enix is catering to you motherfuckers. And this is why Final Fantasy 16 is going to fail. In the hardcore fans' eyes, this game will fail because it's not doing what it's supposed to do, going back to its roots. All right? Medieval fantasy of turn-based, any type of turn-based. It doesn't have to be the classic turn-based. It could be the ATB or some type of other turn-based system that's new and fresh, like Final Fantasy X. It could be something different. It doesn't have to be the exact same thing that you see in Dragon Quest, for example. Because every time you mention turn-based, some people always get offended of like that old classic shit. And then some old farts are going to be like, well, you're old too, and you're just growing up. No, if that's true, then turn-based would have died a long time ago in the 90s, you dumb idiot. You dumb motherfucker. Right? Am I right? How come no RPGs didn't took the route of Legend of Zelda once Legend of Zelda came out? How come Final Fantasy II didn't took the Legend of Zelda route? Thank you. So shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You fucking idiots. Idiots. All of you are fucking retarded idiots and deserve to fucking die, to be quite honest with you. I don't care. You don't deserve the air I breathe. Why the fuck should I even put my effort and time into people that don't give a fuck about where the original series came from? Okay? This is the person that, when I first played Final Fantasy for the first time, I played Final Fantasy 1 and 2 for the Game Boy Advance. That shit blew my mind when I was a kid. I never played an RPG in my life until I played that game. And I gave so much respect and honor to that game. So much so that I played other RPGs. You know, and ever since then, I never turned back. I understand and overstand why they made it turn-based. Why they did things that they needed to do. Because if you made it turn-based, guess what? You have more room for maybe to make an open world or more room for more storytelling and more stuff that you could probably do in the game. Stupid fucking concept, right? Now you need to do these flashy animations and do all of this stuff, and oh my god, I don't have enough data to make an open world. Well, no shit! Because you want to put every detail in the fucking goddamn hair, in their eyes, in the fucking combat. Have you ever looked at animation and realized that you could cut corners in animation? You don't have to go like this and everything. You can literally go like this, and it's like this. But it happens so fast because it's a cartoon. So it looks like you're going like this. But in reality, when you flip the book, it's like this and like this. But yet, when you're doing it in video games, you have to do detail upon detail upon detail. Again, it's like stop motion animation, most likely. But you're doing it differently. You're doing it in a way that's not what they're doing like in South Park now. Because in South Park, they still do stop motion animation a bit. Because when they do, they get the characters and move them like this and like that and like that. And maybe that's not a good example because South Park doesn't really have good quality animation. But it's still that still doesn't matter. That still shouldn't matter. But yet, you're looking at this stuff, Square, and don't care. There's so many, there's even fucking this, I even posted it on my community channel. This stupid fucking piece of shit YouTuber just decided, oh yeah, Square Enix can't do that. Square Enix can't, Square Enix can't do a turn-based. Square Enix can't do turn-based? It sounds like you're giving excuses. That's why I told the motherfucker. All right? I literally comment, like 3 comments, I comment. on that fucking goddamn video. Are you kidding me? People like that are giving fucking excuses to Square Enix so they could be lazy. Lazy. And then some people are gonna be like, well, look at the technology they have nowadays. Yeah, because they want to cater to your fucking sorry ass with the whole high-res graphics like you see in GTA 5. Right? And then when they do that, they can't make it an open world game because they want to cater to your sorry, pathetic piece of shit. All right? Seriously. You're nothing but a piece of shit. I don't give a fuck who you are. You're nothing but a piece of shit. Okay? Now, going back like I said, I don't hate action RPGs. I don't. But when Square is catering to that gameplay for a long period of time, and especially if they don't know who they are, then that's a problem. That's a fucking problem. I don't care about the Devil May Cry. I don't care about the Devil May Cry gameplay in Final Fantasy 16. Yawn. Show me something new. Oh, here's a new turn-based system that's different and shit like that. Oh, okay, now I'm intrigued. Look at Dragon Quest. You know how many times they change a little bit of their gameplay and shit like that? Guaranteed. Look, some idiots don't know about the history of Dragon Quest 9. Dragon Quest 9 was almost going to be a turn-based RPG. Not turn-based, an action RPG. But guess what? Japan and American fans were pissed off. They were pissed off. They were like, no, don't make Dragon Quest action RPG. Because they saw if they made it action RPG, it would end up like Final Fantasy. Not knowing who the fuck it is. And guess what? They listened to their fans and decided to not do that shit. Guarantee you though, Square Enix didn't even listen to the American fans, but they did listen to the Japanese fans. Because I guarantee you, Dragon Quest is a fucking holiday over there. So if they even fuck up Dragon Quest even once, guarantee you there'll be riots on their fucking doorstep, fucking people want to kill their ass. You don't understand how big Dragon Quest is in Japan, guys. Okay? Dragon Quest is huge. It's a holiday. So if you fuck up that holiday, guess what people are going to do? Exactly. It's like fucking up your birthday. Someone comes in and fucks up your birthday. What are you going to do? Kick their ass. Right? Of course. All right? And the people that still don't understand that Dragon Quest shit, I swear, you're the biggest reasons why Square Enix is the way it is right now. You're the biggest reasons why Square Enix is the way it is right now. Seriously. Remember when Square used to pump games left and right? Yeah, I know, back in the 90s, but also in the DS era. They were pumping games left and right in the DS era, remember? But now, they don't want to pump games anymore. Oh, it's too risky. But, you know, it's perfectly risky when you're working with Nintendo, right? Because you're sucking their cock. And if it fails, you can lean over them. But if it fails for you, you don't have no one to lean on. Because you failed. This is a company I used to admire and used to want to be a part of, to be quite honest. I used to write letters to Square Enix and tell them that I wanted to be part of their company. I'm not playing with you. But now I look at them like this and I'm like, you fucking disgust me. Basically, you disgust me. Why should I give a fuck about you? Why should I? I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck the shit that you make. When's Final Fantasy 7 when's Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2 going to come out? Exactly. Knowing in a spiritual enlightenment way, we don't have that long. So if anyone's waiting for Final Fantasy 7 Remake 2, you guys are not going to get it. You guys are not going to get it. You're not. In a spiritual enlightenment way, you guys are waiting for something that's never going to come. I'm serious. You have 3 months left in a way. So everyone that's waiting for Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Remake 2, you guys are waiting for nothing. Nothing. Me waiting for Dragon Quest 12, I'll probably waiting for nothing too. But guess what? I'm liking more of the Final Fantasy fans because they're so naive. They're so naive. The thing is too, there's so many groups of people like the Harry Potter, the Harry Potter group, the Star Wars group, the Final Fantasy group, the Dragon Quest group. You know, there's so many groups of people that will see their stuff and be like, that's relatable. That's actually true. Holy shit. But yet, when I tell people, oh, this is true in a spiritual enlightenment way, they'd be like, oh, you're crazy and shit like that. What? So all these Japanese developers just made it up from their ass, right? You know, these just came out of their ass, right? They didn't take ayahuasca or shrooms or even read books that we can't read. For example, Final Fantasy IX is actually the story of what happened to this planet before white people came to this planet. But you will never know that because you think it's dumb and stupid. And you want to give more credit to these motherfuckers. Even though they just stole, even though they know information that their people stole from the original people that belong on this planet. For example, these Japanese developers and American developers don't know shit. Look at Rockstar right now. Remember when I pointed this a long time ago? There's something happening in this planet right now, and all your companies, including video game companies, know it, and that's why they don't give a fuck anymore. That's why they're not trying anymore. That's why they rather pump out shit, rather give you a good product and actually make you think. Okay? Now, there's still good stuff that's being out there, that's being made, which is good. I'm happy about that, you know? But overall, it's the big companies that get paid attention to. Square Enix doesn't deserve our money and doesn't deserve the time we breathe, man. Like, if Square Enix brings out a remaster game that you might like or you want, think, okay, get it. You know, show them that I want this more. You know, instead of buying something that's new and telling them, oh, I want that. I'd rather buy something that's old, mainly because it has heart, than something new. I'd rather buy Chrono Cross Remaster because at least it still has the heart that's inside of the game when it was originally made, you know? That's just me. Shadow 2, man, what's up? We'll see. Yeah, shout out, what's up? And it's true. I love the old RPG games. I do. I don't play a lot of old RPG games, but the ones I have played, I enjoyed. I like Final Fantasy Legends. I like Final Fantasy 1 and 2. I haven't played 3, but I like Final Fantasy 4 also, you know? So I have beat Final Fantasy 1. I haven't beat Final Fantasy 2 or 4, but 5, 6, 7, 8. Even though I am playing through 8. I haven't beaten a lot of Final Fantasy games, but at least I know a lot about them. You know, and I watch Let's Plays about it, and I understand the talent that goes into it. For crying out loud, some of these, look at the Chrono Trigger, makings of it. Some people had to retire early of their age because they put too much effort into that game. That shows the passion and how much the heart they put into that game. Do we ever get that now? I'm not saying you should kill yourself for a game. Don't do that. Don't do that for us. Don't. But that right there just tells me that you wanted to put something that's good out there, even if you hurt your own body. These higher up companies don't give a fuck about it, but the fans do. The fans appreciate that shit. Okay? Why? Because you're making something that you care about, and you're making something that you want us to play. What's up? Some people be like, Final Fantasy can't go back to turn-based, but Pokemon does that. Thank you! How come Pokemon isn't action RPG at this point? Why isn't Pokemon action RPG? Why isn't it? It's true. Don't you just love when people be like, oh, Final Fantasy can't go back to its turn-based roots because that's too old? Then maybe people should stop playing Pokemon. You dumb idiots. Okay? No one has not stopped playing Dragon Quest or Shin Megami or even Persona. No one's not stopped playing those games because they're fun. Kind of a lot of the Persona games are more famous than Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy probably looks at the Persona series and they're like, damn, we used to be like that. What happened? What happened? You little whoever owns you, your father left, but whoever owns you now decides to say, fuck you. You don't deserve this shit anymore. Why? Because, it's too comfortable. Oh, not even too comfortable. We can't do that. We don't know how to promote that. That's your fault. That's your fault, Square Enix. That's your fault for not knowing how to promote a turn-based game. What? You did it pretty good when you did the remasters of Final Fantasy 8 and 9. Look at those trailers. Those trailers are great. Especially the Final Fantasy 9 trailer. When they were promoting it for Steam and the PlayStation 4, that trailer made me cry. I love that trailer of Final Fantasy 9. So I know you guys can do it. You just guys don't want to because you're fucking lazy. You're fucking lazy. I'm playing through Final Fantasy 15 and I'm over here like, damn, man, all of this stuff that was in Final Fantasy 15, I'm playing the Warrior edition of it. So I'm all like, damn, all of this stuff that could have been in the game when it first came out, but it isn't. That's why I told myself Final Fantasy 15 could have probably been not bad. Maybe not the worst, maybe not the best, but not bad. A passable Final Fantasy game, But when it first came out as itself, as what it originally was, it sucked. It's terrible. The story is terrible. The story is still terrible, but with the Warrior Edition, there's new stuff that you can appreciate now, like the Prompto story, the Ignis story, the Gladio story. You can appreciate those side stories a little bit more, That's just me. Some people might not like those, and that's fine. Final Fantasy 15 didn't do it for you, and it definitely didn't do it for me when I first fucking played it, But when I'm playing the Warrior Edition, I'm like, it's doing it a little bit for me, even though I haven't got to the parts that I wanted to. But I am playing the Comrades, Final Fantasy 15 multiplayer Comrades. That one is good. I would say that right now. That one is good. The fact that, I don't know, but that one's pretty good. And that's why I still say that. I don't know why Square doesn't bundle Final Fantasy with a whole bunch of stuff in it. Final Fantasy 15. There's so many content for Final Fantasy 15. You don't want to bundle it together and sell it to you in basically a good price. But yet they don't want to do that. They probably want to do that in the future and sell that again for like $80 or $100. Bullshit. Bullshit. I won't buy that shit at that point. Fuck no. When I could just probably watch the anime on YouTube and play some of the games that are literally free to play right now, like Comrades and Final Fantasy 15, a side story when you could play as Noctis's dad and shit like that, which is dope. I love that shit. That's a good fucking game, to be quite honest with you. It has like little I love the pixelated style of it that they did. It's great. It's great. That's why that right there tells me, Square, you can still do it, but you still don't care. You still don't care. You still don't care. And this is why Dragon Quest is not going to go through that route. It's not. Because Square Enix knows that if it does go through that route, they're not making money anymore. You think they're making money from Final Fantasy? No. What do you think they made Final Fantasy 7 Remake? Oh, we can't make money anymore. Well, let's crank that at Final Fantasy 7 again. Should I even talk about Crisis Core? I love Crisis Core. I love Crisis Core. All right, for the PSP, Crisis Core was my shit on the PSP. But the remastering it, and I'm seeing gameplays, I'm seeing clips of the gameplay, and it looks unsatisfying to me. I don't like the gameplay of this game. I mean, of the remaster of Crisis Core. Some people might like it just because, the back in the PSP, it was so clunky and shit. Oh, fuck off. Fuck off with that clunky shit bullshit mindset you have. That's the same fucking aspect that people feel when it comes to turn-based. Oh, it's so clunky. It's so old school. I don't want to play this anymore. It's so depressing. Well, you know what? Maybe it's not for you. Maybe you shouldn't fucking play Final Fantasy to begin with. But yet you want to play Final Fantasy 15 and say it's the hot shit. No, it's not. I will still say to this day, Final Fantasy 15 is the worst Final Fantasy game of all time. Okay, there might be some stuff that I still enjoy, like the guys and all that, the boys. They felt like I was their brothers and shit like that. To be quite honest, I felt connected to them. I liked that aspect of the game. But overall, if I took that out, I would literally tell you it's the worst Final Fantasy game of all time. it's a waste of fucking time. I still to this day, I'm doing clips about it, and I'm thinking in my head, should I even continue Final Fantasy 15? Should I even continue the commentaries with it in this channel? Because I'm sitting back and I'm looking at it every time on my PlayStation, and I'm like, should I just do the Ignis and Prompto stories and Gladio stories and call it a day? You know? And go somewhere else and finish Shin Megami Apocalypse, which is funny because Shin Megami Apocalypse, when it first came out, people hated it. Now, people look back at it and be like, it's not bad. It's pretty good. You know? And if you want that Shin Megami ending, they have it. Oh, yeah, they have it. That's what I like about Shin Megami Apocalypse. You know, sometimes if you want that traditional happy ending that you see in anime and other old RPGs, it's there. But if you want how Shin Megami ends, if you want that type of ending, you can get that too. All right, that's what I love about Apocalypse. I really do. That's what I love about Shin Megami, about the games. You know, there's different routes that you could take and stuff like that. Which I would love if Final Fantasy did that too. But hey, you don't have to if you don't want to. But it would be nice maybe one Final Fantasy game can do that. You know, just to give characters some leeway a bit, being like, oh shit, cool. You know, because I think in Final Fantasy V, I think there's a character that if they die in the battlefield of the final boss, they die in the game. I think that's in Final Fantasy V. And if that's true, holy shit. Then that means that's another ending. That means whoever character that is dead on the field at the final boss when you fight X-Death, that means you have a different ending. So if boss dies or some of the characters die, you get different endings to it. That's crazy. Now, if it's true of Final Fantasy V, let me know, because I did heard something about that with Final Fantasy V or some other Final Fantasy game. So if it is Final Fantasy V, let me know, because that is pretty dope. If it is Final Fantasy V, because that just tells me that they had a lot of room to do a lot of things with Final Fantasy V. And Final Fantasy V is a big game. I think there's like 2 or 3 maps of that game. Yeah, the game is pretty huge. It's a long game. Final Fantasy V is a long game. It is. I haven't beaten it. Final Fantasy games that I have beaten: Final Fantasy 1, Crisis Core, Final Fantasy 9, and I think that's it. I feel like I'm beating some other Final Fantasy games. But yeah, if you talk about mainline ones, I think that's it. But still, I look at the Final Fantasy franchise with fun, you know? I love the series, and I love that what Square did to them. But now they look at it like, oh, that's poison now. Poison? You're looking at the turn-based style and the ATB system, you're going to call it poison? I'm not saying they said that, but they're looking at it like that. Like it's like, I don't want it. And it's like, why? You know? And the thing is, too, going back to what I said, you want to do the Devil May Cry combat in Final Fantasy 16. So you're catering to the Devil May Cry fans? No, we're catering to the Final Fantasy fans. No, you're not. No, you're not. No matter how hard you're going to say, oh, we're catering to the Final Fantasy fans, you're not. You're fucking not. There's another trailer that I saw that you're fighting summons and they have like bars, like Street Fighter. What are you doing? What are you doing? This is not Final Fantasy. Okay? If this was another franchise altogether you were making, Square, or a side Final Fantasy game, guess what? I wouldn't give a fuck. I would have been like, okay, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. Maybe some of this new stuff might be in the main line. Maybe not all of it, but maybe some of it. How cool would it be if you did have a turn-based battle mechanic, but it did have that bar system there? But in a way, it's just a boss bar to make it feel like it is kind of like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, you know? But the thing is, you don't have to have that because it was already in the games to begin with of having a light ball for a boss. Stupid concept. What are we doing here, Square? You're looking at stuff that's like, oh, we never done that before, but you did. Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2. You know, Square Enix was trying to reach a goal of trying to do that flashy animation fighting shit. and they want to be like, oh, yeah, we did that with 15. Then why are you doing it with 16? Sounds like you didn't get what you wanted. And plus, you already did that a long time ago. It's called Kingdom Hearts 2. You're making your flashy stuff and everything like that. You did that in Kingdom Hearts 2. So stop trying to up yourself. Because it looks embarrassing. You look like a child. Because every time you try to one-up yourself with that shit, you keep failing and failing and failing and failing. And I'm looking at you like you're an idiot because you already did it. Stop repeating what you already did. Do something new. God. You fucking idiots. Well, how come we can't get the style of turn-based and action together? I'm not saying that has to be a mainline Final Fantasy game, but it'd be something. You know? Closer to what Parasite Eve have, in a way. How come we don't bring that gameplay back and change a few things and everything like that? But it's too much, right? It's too much and too new. Then why in the fuck are you catering to fans that are not going to watch your or going to buy your shit? Might as well call Final Fantasy 16 Devil May Cry Fantasy 16. Might as well call it that. Because it's not Final Fantasy. It's not. And then supposedly you're not going to have fucking characters that are with you? Traditional Final Fantasy? You see, back in my day, when you had a one party member, you either were two things. Either a standalone Final Fantasy game that's a side Final Fantasy game, or you were the first Dragon Quest game. Because the first Dragon Quest game didn't have no party members. It only had one party member, which was fine because they worked for Dragon Quest. And then moved on to become better with Dragon Quest 2. Why? Because most likely Dragon Quest NX saw you, Square, doing multiple characters with Final Fantasy. And they were like, you know what? We can do that too. You see? You see the inspiration from other inspirations? Dragon Quest inspired you, and you inspired Dragon Quest. Now, I'm not saying they did, but that's probably an example. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. You know, it's just a thing that I thought of. But still, you guys, they inspired each other. But I don't know why you guys are still not inspired each other again. You know, you have the side of NX is doing fine. Square is just doing terrible. At least the side of NX knows what the fuck they're doing. The side of Square doesn't know what they're doing at all. For crying out loud, the guy that's making fucking the guy that made Final Fantasy 14, like made it all great and shit like that, he literally said that Square Enix has an obsession with graphics. He has an he literally said that Square Enix has a sick obsession with graphics. And I think this is also the same guy that literally was like, well, yeah, let's have this for Final Fantasy 16. You know? At first, when I heard about the guy that's making Final Fantasy 16 because he made Final Fantasy 14, I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe he might bring the series back to full force. Then I saw the gameplay, and I'm like, oh, so he rather cater to those people. Okay, fucking hypocrite. It is. It's hypocrite. You want to tell the fans that you want to tell the fans, oh, our company has a sickness when it comes to graphics, but yet you also have a sickness too when it comes to action RPGs. Why isn't Final Fantasy 16 turn-based? Again, going back, why won't you use the gameplay from 10 for this game? Why won't you? It's so easy. But for you, it's so hard. Again, that's how I know this game is going to suck. It's all about style, no substance. You want things to be flashy to hide the fact that this game sucks. It's the same thing with Final Fantasy 15. For crying out loud, when you were making Final Fantasy 13, you didn't have the gameplay down. So, you know what you did? You showed clips and fake gameplay what you wanted what the action to look like. So basically, it's like this. I press an action button like attack, and Lightning is supposed to do these crazy fucking moves while attacking. Instead of going like like that. I don't mind this, but apparently you do. And apparently others are people that can't fucking be like this and stand there and click a fucking button. They don't play Final Fantasy 10. Okay? Don't play Final Fantasy X because Final Fantasy X is like that. Jeez. And don't play fucking, what is it? Final Fantasy, World of Final Fantasy. Remember when Square Enix was like, oh, the next Final Fantasy game will be turn-based, we promise? But they never said that the mainline series would be turn-based. You see, when they said that, I was like, okay, cool. Maybe we finally get back to its roots. Then we get World of Final Fantasy. I don't hate World of Final Fantasy. I think it's a good game. I think it's great. But when you see the turn-based style in that game, you look at it and you be like, Square, you dumb motherfucker. You fucking assholes. You said that, oh, the next Final Fantasy game would have turn-based. We promise. And it was this one. Everyone was clamming and thinking maybe the main line or something like that. But no, it was this. See, this is why people are watching your awards now more than ever, because you're a fucking hypocrite. You're a fucking deceit. You deceive people. How should we trust you? How should we give you money? That's why I'm giving money to either to a fucking Sega / Atlas. Because at least they're giving me a good time with fucking Shin Megami and Persona. And a little bit with, with NX too, because Dragon Quest is great. Dragon Quest will always be great. And if you try to make Dragon Quest action RPG, you're just going to get the same fire that you did with Dragon Quest 9. And if anyone is trying to say, yeah, Dragon Quest 12 should be action RPG, you just said that. You are saying that mainly because you never played a Dragon Quest game to begin with, and you just want that to happen so you can have a lean forward to play something like that. Because you're like, oh, I've heard about Dragon Quest, but I don't care for it. If it did action RPG, maybe I'll go to it. See, it's that type of mindset that I fucking hate. And most likely, to me, you're not a gamer, in my opinion. You're not a gamer, you're not a fan. So why the fuck are you trying to be part of the RPG fandom? Basically. I'm not saying that there should be a divide between action and turn-based. I'm not saying that. But there should be a fucking equal standard of like, yeah, I like one too, then the other. Maybe you like this one too, and that's fine. But we're not gonna fight over it. The people that look at action RPGs should look at us and be like, you know what? You do deserve your traditional turn-based Final Fantasy game. We already had our time. It's true. You guys had your time. But yet, so much of you guys don't want to admit that shit because you're children. You guys are children. Because you want Square Enix to cater to your fucking shit so bad. Because you feel lonely. Literally. That's how you are. Because the Square Enix didn't cater to your fucking thing or your standards. Oh, I'm offended. Oh, they didn't cater to my standards, so it's automatically bad. Ah! Yo, tell me, comment down below, guys. Comment down below. I'm going to take a few breaks here. Like, comment down below. I know some people are watching, but comment down below. Give me some things, to be honest. No, seriously. Give me some things, because this shit's ridiculous. It really is. I'm 31% on my phone. But comment, please. If you're here, comment down below. Give me some of your views of how Final Fantasy is actually. And do you feel like also should Final Fantasy go back to its roots? And obviously I feel like it should. But do you also feel like that turn-based is really, action RPG is really killing turn-based? There's still turn-based out there. It's just that these companies want to focus more on action. And there's some people out here that just don't care about it. It's like looking at movies. Sometimes people don't give a fuck about action movies. All right? And people in Hollywood are fine with it. They're like, okay, you might not like action movies. Maybe you like horror movies. I'm a horror guy. Not to say I don't like action. I love action. But I'm more of a horror guy. So if there was a movie poster that was all about action or just horror, I most likely would go to horror first before the action. Why? Because I want to see what they do with the horror. Why? Because you could do so much things with horror movies, man. I could be literally sitting here like this and make it all disturbing and fucked up and shit, and that's a horror movie. That could be like a 25-minute video. And that's a horror movie. But I could be like this and I can make creepy shit in the background and make a creepy story out of it, and people will be like, "Holy shit, this guy's just looking at it." Camera, he's like a movie, just like a little short movie. It just has to be like an hour, just like a show, like 15 minutes or 25 minutes. See, that right there will make you think about like, whoa, what is this person doing? What was this? You know, what's happening? Then you hear the music, it's getting deteriorating and all that, kind of like Suicide Mouse. You know, the creepypasta of Suicide Mouse. It's like that. Think about that. You know, just creativities, man, stuff like that. Me and my friend were talking about like some of the stuff that we could do with the MCU and some of the stuff in with these new games, especially with the new game stuff. And me and my friend just looked at each other like, we made a whole other thing way better by talking about it in 2 seconds. And these motherfuckers have countless teams upon teams, and they can't fucking figure out how to make a fucking goddamn game to please everybody. Now, I understand you can't please everybody, and that's fine. You can't please everybody. But there's something, there has to be, if you can't make something that you want to make, then there's something's wrong, you know? And Square Enix should make something that they should make. But if they're catering to a group that doesn't give a fuck about them, then why should they make it? That's just me. Let me see the comment here. Oh, wait. Okay, sorry about that. I agree. We need to make our own video games ourselves, period. They're too scared to take risk and always want to play safe. Exactly. Look, right here. I have RPG Maker Fez right here. And I'm making my own little game, you know? And I might switch that over to RPG Maker NV for the Switch. And then when I do it, and when I finally got, you know, the nook and cranny down for it, I will buy a laptop, buy that on Steam, and do what I have to do and make my own game, basically. You know, you can make your own music, make your own sprites on the PC version of RPG Maker, which I like, you know? So the thing is, too, what pushed me more to make my own game is because these video game developers. I'm looking at all these video game developers, and you guys are literally feeding me the anger and the drive for me to make my own game, to prove to you motherfuckers you are the most pathetic pieces of shit of all gaming. And that is my goal, to prove to you motherfuckers that you are the most pathetic pieces of shit ever of all gaming. Seriously, that is my goal with my game. I don't care if I talk shit about you in my game. I'm still going to fucking make a game. All right? And the game that I'm making is, I'll say this, way over my head in a way, because it's big. But I am thinking of making a little side game of it just to make it quick so I could put it out there on the DS before the DS is finally shut down in March of next year. So I might just do that soon because I already have another plan of what game I want to make. And it's not that long at all because it's turn-based. So there you go. So and the game that I'm making now, it's turn-based / action with turn-based elements in it. And then the one that I'm thinking about next is just straight turn-based because I want to have characters. To be honest, I want characters to tell you the story with some expressions and all that instead of just dialogue. There will still be people that are talking and stuff like that, but I want, like, you know, less dialogue and more like focus of like what's happening to the characters and all that stuff, you know. So to me, I feel like I'm always good a visual person, like, because I made a story too that, you know, people watched. I mean, people have heard, how people have read in my school and stuff like that, and people like it because I'm not telling what's happening. I'm showing it, but obviously it's a book, so obviously you read it and you'll be like, oh my god, this character did this. For example, like, I'm not going to make a character that says, oh, I'm going to bring my sword out and do this. You know, common sense, basically. You know, you write in a book. So it's going to be like, oh, this character did this and did that. You know, stuff like that I'm going to want to put in my game that I'm thinking to make. And what's the title of the game going to be called? Not the game that I'm making now, the other one that I want to make. Actually, it is a parody of Godzilla vs. Kong. So there is that. It's a parody of Godzilla vs. Kong. So to me, I just thought that they'll be easier and it is faster from the story that I'm thinking of. So who knows? I'll probably do that today or something like that or whenever, because I know I know how I know the whole development thing of making a game is, and at least I have it in my head, and at least I know what to do. I have like papers and stuff like that that I can do and all of that. And if I don't do it in this one, I can always do it for the MV version, anyways. So going back to Final Fantasy, I'm sorry, once again on a tangent there, but this is why I don't mind getting on a tangent when it comes to me making my own game, mainly because like I even discussed this with my friend too. My friend was like, maybe we should make our own games, man. And I'm like, yeah, what do you think I'm doing? Because these game developers are not giving me the time of day. So I want all you game developers that are watching this, I want you to know, you're making us leave and making us make our own games. Even if we don't sell our own games, at least we're playing it ourselves and we're not buying your shit. That's why I told myself too. If I make my own game, then why should I fucking buy your shit? If I can make my own game, why should I buy your shit? Give me a reason to buy your shit, Square. If I can make a Final Fantasy game on my system, on my RPG Maker, Fez, if I could do that, then I shouldn't buy your games anymore. Right? I can make the chocobos. I can make the fucking job classes. I can make the stories and shit like that. And then people want to talk about the Octopath Travelers saga. And you know what? I look at that series and that tells me that Square is even lazier. Because Square can do turn-based. It's just that they literally are like, oh, we don't want turn-based. But then they're like, oh, you want turn-based? Go to Octo's Travels. It's there. Go to that series. But I want in Final Fantasy. Oh, no. We can't have that. No. That's canceled. That's too much. But yet you're doing to Octo Travels and Dragon Quest and Dragon Quest. So why you can't put that in Final Fantasy? Oh, we don't want to hear it. That's the type of attitude that I hate with Square Enix, man. All right. So this company, I don't know. What else should I say about this company? You know, I'm about to get more water. Comment down below again before I head out soon. You know, before I shut this video off. So let's see. I just wanted to look at the comics that you left, man. But yeah, comment down below if you have something else to say. I'll be right back real quick. I have to put this in the sink and get more water. But put some comments down. I'll be done. Okay, I'm back. I am back. Okay. Let's see if I got comments. If not, that's fine. All right. No, that's fine. But this company has to oh, I got a comment. Let's see. Hold on. Sorry about this. The last game I got from Square Enix was Kingdom Hearts 3. Same. And the Remake DLC, I stopped supporting the game, video game companies because the jailbreak my console. Damn. That's crazy. I never got the DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3. Once I saw the DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3, that literally cemented to me right there that this game was unfinished and this game is not good. And especially when I thought about it for a while, and then once that DLC came out of nowhere, I'm just like, wow, Square, you just proved to me even more that this was a waste of fucking goddamn time. Thank you for telling me Thank you for telling me. Now that video that I made that found out that Kingdom Hearts 3 was good. Wow, I look foolish in that now, huh? I kept that video there just in case, but damn, man. The fact that this company, man, like the thing is too, a lot of people pointed out that Kingdom Hearts 3 failed mainly because of Disney and shit like that. I still would blame Sqawn because Nomura has pointed out that him and Disney have butted heads before. Okay? For crying out loud, when Kingdom Hearts was being made, Disney was literally like, this is the gameplay that we want. It's either that or nothing. And Nomura was like, I'm not going to make games like this. Nomura didn't want to make games that Disney wanted him to make. He wanted to make games that he wanted to make, which is pretty ballsy. But now look at it. Nomura cannot be stopped. The thing is, the guy that made Final Fantasy, he literally told Nomura, if Kingdom Hearts doesn't have a Final Fantasy theme, like a Final Fantasy story, it will fail. And he made it the most complex thing ever, which is fine, because if you really think of Kingdom Hearts, that's the thing. Some people get confused with Kingdom Hearts, but if you really sat down, put it together in pieces, and you open your first eye, to be honest, it's really not that complicated at all whatsoever. You know what makes it complicated? Kingdom Hearts 3, because they decided to just repeat shit over and over again instead of fucking continuing it because they want to cater to new fucking fans that never played the other Kingdom Hearts games. You fucking idiot piece of shit Square Enix, man. You fucking idiots, man. Fucking idiots. The biggest flaw of Kingdom Hearts 3 is that they kept catering to the fucking newbies. That's why Kingdom Hearts 3 failed so fucking bad. It didn't move forward with the story at all, whatsoever. That's why, to me, Dream Drop Distance is Kingdom Hearts 3 and is the final end to the series. Alright? It is. It is. No ifs, ands, or buts. And to be quite honest, if I do go to Square Enix and I got Kingdom Hearts, to be honest, I will reboot the series. Start off after Kingdom Hearts 2. Oh, what about Xehanort? What about Riku? I mean, what about Naminé and Shion and Axel and all that? They're dead. They're dead. They're gone. They're gone. Xehanort no more. He's gone too. Blah, blah, blah. New story, fresh villain and all that shit. That's what I would have done. That's what I would have done. Seriously. The whole thing, Naminé stuff, so I can thank her in a dream or some shit like that. Side stuff. It doesn't matter. Other than that, you could do something big and epic after Kingdom Hearts 2. That's what I would have done. I do have a feeling that one day someone is going to go to the Square Enix company and be like, "Yeah, I want to start over with Kingdom Hearts. Let's start with Kingdom Hearts 2. We could keep Chain of Memories, we could keep Kingdom Hearts 1, and we could keep Kingdom Hearts 2. But the rest, let's cut that out. Let's start off with Kingdom Hearts 2. Let's start fresh." I guarantee you, one day we'll probably get that. That is if we have enough time in this planet, which we don't. We don't. Especially when it comes to these Japanese developers. They don't have time at all. Let me let you on a little secret. These Japanese developers, their ancestors came down here and started slaughtering people that belong to this planet, right? So guess what? They're going to pay for it. They're going to pay what their ancestors did. That's galactic karma. Why do you think I pointed out before these developers don't give a fuck anymore? Why? Because they know their time is up. They know they're going to die. They know they're going to die. They know they're going to pay the consequences of what their ancestors have done to us. That's what's really happening to this planet right now as we speak. Oh, no one's not saying anything. Yeah, because they don't want you to know. They want you to be naive. They still want you to think that, oh, we're going back to normal. No, we're never going to go back. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Hell no. Hell no. How can you learn that your own government does sex trafficking to children and then go back to normal. That's literally saying, oh yeah, could we go back to normal when these pedophiles can kidnap babies and rape them and kill them? Yeah, that's great. That's perfectly fine. Good job. You look so great. You look so great. Karma's going to fucking destroy your ass at that point. Let me look at the comment here. Yeah. You know, I thought of that too. Maybe Kingdom Hearts 4 would never come out. Which, I don't care for it. I don't mind. To be honest. I don't mind at all, mainly because Kingdom Hearts 3 came out and I can finally die. Seriously. So, if there's anything to take away from this, there's always this. Do your own thing. And when you watch these video game developers doing stupid shit, just don't buy it. Never buy their shit. I know I won't. But also, find something that you might, like, do something, that you have a passion about. And when you do have a passion for it, obviously you could, go through different levels of being successful, I guess. But the fact of the matter is that don't be like companies like these, man. They're not worth it. And definitely, if you're going to join, if you say, because I like to draw a lot, for example. So if I am an artist, right? If I'm a drawer, an animator, and I go to Square Enix, and I feel some type of vibe or bad environments that's in there, I'm going to fucking get out of there. I quit. I don't care if it's the first day, I quit. Oh, you're not going to get your check. I don't care. Then move me up to the NX group because the Square part is shit and I don't care for it at all whatsoever. That's why I don't care about Final Fantasy. Why should I give a fuck about Final Fantasy 16? Why should I give a fuck about Final Fantasy 7 Remake? The Crisis Core demo. Why the Crisis Core game? Why should I give a fuck about that game? Why should I give a fuck about Crisis Core? You changed the gameplay, which should have never been changed to begin with, in my opinion, was fine. Oh, it was clunky. Man, fuck those people that said it was clunky. Who gives a fuck? Alright? The reason it was supposed to be like that is because, newsflash, it was still supposed to give the authentic feel of, still a turn base. But you still can run around and move and shit like that, right? Stupid concept. It's like, it's like they took the gameplay from Parasite Eve. Stupid concept, right? And then they want to make it flashy, as you see from that fucking Crisis Core trailer. Who are these games for, Square? Who are these games for? Not for me. Clearly, they're not for me. If they are, then you wouldn't. You made Crisis Core literally from the ground up. That's definitely not for me. Not because it's made from the ground up. It's because you literally decided to make this game from the ground up. And make it to connect to what? To stupid Final Fantasy VII Remake? With all your fucking prophecies and shit like that? Oh, Destiny and shit like that? Oh, you see, Zack didn't die. Oh, Aerith didn't die. Oh, Barret didn't die. Fuck off and fuck you. Imagine they did that in Dragon Quest XI. Oh, yeah, this character didn't die. Oh, you going back in time to save that character? Oh, yeah, that wasn't a mistake. You can go back in time anytime you want. Ha. You see, just kidding. No mistakes. Ha. No consequences. Ha. See, we're sorry. No, I want consequences in my games. Okay? If there's a group, me picking out to be a bad guy, and I feel like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't, but guess what? I went through that route anyways. Guess what? That's my decision. That's why I like Shin Megami, the series, man. That's why I love the Shin Megami series, man. When you have an ending that's not for you, Well, actually, no. When you have an ending that's sad in Shin Megami, for example, or a happy ending, it's because you choose that ending from the people that you talk to along the way, and how they react to you and shit. So if you got a bad ending, that's on you. That's you being what you are in that game. So don't be like, oh, that's so sad. Can I go back? No, that's the consequence that you have to do, bitch. You killed your best friend in that game. Where's the consequences? Oh, everyone in your friend's group now hates you and wants you dead. Now you're the villain. Oh, I don't want that. I don't want, but too fucking bad. Guess what then? If you don't want that, you have to start the game all over again. And you and I know you don't want that. Are you kidding me? You're gonna start over on a game that's literally almost done. You have 30 hours plus 40 hours into the game, and yet you're gonna reset it because you killed a character off that you didn't want to get killed because you don't want to feel that emotion. You don't want to feel that heartbreak. Because, oh, it's too much for me. Square Enix promised me, no, modern RPG games, like Square Enix told me that, game characters can't die. So automatically, these characters from Shin Megami can't die. How dare you? How dare you, Atlas? How dare you? Yeah, how dare Atlas? How dare Atlas killing their characters off because, they understand consequences. Yeah, how dare Atlas? How dare this company understand consequences when it comes to RPGs? I'm not saying they're perfect, but still, laughing and shit. Yeah, exactly. They're not perfect, but at least they know the consequences, man. Seriously. Even in Shin Megami 5, when you do something that's consequential, guess what? It's never taken away from you because they understand that. When it comes to fucking Final Fantasy VII, that game is basically like, oh yeah, we killed this character off, Barret. When I saw that shit, I'm like, oh shit, he killed Barret off. Huh, okay. And then all of a sudden, all I see these ghost figures fucking save his ass. Oh, that didn't happen in the original. You see, some people like to point out that those ghostly figures are the true Final Fantasy fans, which they're not wrong. It's true. It's true. And then they went to the fact that they were like, oh yeah, let's defeat these shadow figures. So now we don't have to be handcuffed to what we need to do for Final Fantasy VII. I saw what Square Enix did. People pointed this out, and then the people that see this see it. The people that pointed this out and they're like, oh, that's too much. I think you've seen it too deeply. Fuck off. That's exactly what this game is. Final Fantasy VII Remake is basically saying, oh, fuck you to the fans of Final Fantasy VII. It's saying that, no, we're doing our own route. We're doing our own shit because fuck you. You think the people that wanted the Final Fantasy VII Remake wanted this? They didn't ask for this. They didn't ask for fucking prophecies and destinies and people dying and then coming back. They didn't ask for that. They asked for Final Fantasy VII and maybe change a few things. It doesn't have to be like everything. It doesn't have to be like exact same thing as the PS1, but change a few things. Still keep the same aspect of Final Fantasy VII, like losing people that they can't come back. That's the thing. That's the core of Final Fantasy VII, and yet you ruined it from the remake. You don't know what the original was. And this is the same people that made the original. You guys don't know. You see, that's why if the creator of Final Fantasy was still here, definitely he would have looked at you guys saying that, fuck you. He even told you guys, fuck you. He saw what you guys did to Final Fantasy VII Remake, and he's like, you guys don't understand it. You guys don't understand Final Fantasy. He's disappointed in you guys. I am too. Shit. You guys don't know what Final Fantasy is. And then I'm hearing that you want to make Final Fantasy 9 Remake? Do you know what 9 stands for? Do you know what Final Fantasy 9 stands for? You better bring that turn-based back, bitch, if you bring it back Final Fantasy 9. Because Final Fantasy 9 is literally about old traditional Final Fantasy. You can't bring Final Fantasy 9 Remake and bring the action RPG aspect. The action RPG aspect. You can't. You idiots. You're not making a game that's paying homage to now Final Fantasy. You're paying homage to a game that's the past Final Fantasies. So don't remake Final Fantasy now, you idiots. Stupid concept. Is that in your brain or you just retarded? So all these people saying that, oh, no, they can't be turn-based anymore. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. And why don't you fucking take a few fucking goddamn assets and die? I'm dead serious. I can give two fucks about you. I don't give a fuck. Seriously. In my eyes, you're no closer to a pedophile. Yep, I said it. That right there, there's your name. I spit on it. I'm dead serious. Yeah, I just compared you to a pedophile. I can't believe I did that, but I did. Because all you care about is fucking shit over. Nah, sounds like something a pedophile would do. Fuck shit over. Man. How long is this fucking, all right, 60 minutes. All right, this is video right here that I want to play before I leave, so.
And I already stated, Final Fantasy VII Remake, that was my last Final Fantasy game. I'm looking at this one, and it's like, I'm seeing a lot of this
YouTuber called Advid, but the title is called Final Fantasy 16, The Problem with Final Fantasy and Square Enix. This came out on September 17, 2020. So this video is old. But I want to show you this before I close this video.
The same exact issues that I've been seeing with this franchise for a long time. And usually when one of these Final Fantasy games is announced, there's a loop.
Yeah.
There's a pattern that takes place. And the pattern starts with Square Enix releasing a teaser trailer full of gameplay that probably won't make it into the final version.
Right.
They'll give you a vertical slice, most of which is not going to end up being in the final product.
Right.
If Final Fantasy 13 and 15 are any indication of that. And then you'll have a bunch of people that will go online and start arguing about the combat system and how they don't like what Square Enix has done with it, which only further emphasizes what's actually wrong with the series as a whole and the fact that there's no consistency between game to game, and they just continuously change what the game is as far as the gameplay goes.
Yeah. With Final Fantasy, they're unpredictable. When it comes to Dragon Quest, you know what you're getting. Medieval fantasy, turn-based, you're getting the slimes, you're getting the puffs, you know, you're getting the waifus and everything like that, you know, you're getting those stuff of Dragon Quest. When it comes to Final Fantasy is like, oh, what should we do? We don't know what to do anymore. Yeah, because you lost your identity. I hate to say this. I know some people are going to hate me for this, but who raped you, Final Fantasy? Who raped you? Where did he touch you? Where did the angel touch you?
From title to title, which only leads to a divided fan base and a series that just doesn't have any sort of consistent quality.
And that's what I hate about Square too. You know, Square has divided the fan base, and they love it. They love it. They love it. They love that the fact that the turn-based fans, in a way, don't get their shit. And then the action RPG fans that just came to this shit are looking at old fans like us and saying, yeah, fuck you. Your time has been over, old man. Step aside. It's our turn. The fuck is wrong with you? The fuck is wrong with you? Breathe that shit over here, and I guarantee you won't come to my house and say that, because I'll make you to a bloody fucking goddamn mustard, to a bloody goddamn pope. Right? Yeah, you want to do that in my face, but you do it on a fucking goddamn keyboard because you're a child. You're a child. You're a child. Right? Because if any of you motherfuckers can say that in front of my face at my house, I'll still punch the shit out of you. But at least I'll be like, hey, man, you had the balls to come over here and say it. There's that. But the haters don't. They don't. Why? Because they're pussies. They're pussies and they're childish. Because all they have to do is type on the keyboard and be like, ha ha ha, I did my job. No, you didn't, bitch. How much you want to bet I can find you right now and fucking drag you out of your own fucking goddamn house and fucking do Michael Myers on your ass. All right? I'm dead serious. Seriously, man. I could walk into a room right now and scare a whole bunch of people because I've learned from the best.
So that's really where the loop begins. But see, my thing is, people are complaining about the combat system, but no one has anything to say about some of the usual tropes that Square Enix keeps reusing from game to game. And this is a 30-plus-year-old franchise.
Where's the color? Remember characters like Steiner and Sid from Final Fantasy VII and that monk guy from Final Fantasy IV? You know, quirky characters and also characters that you can relate to. Who can you relate to in Final Fantasy now, man? Who can you look at a character and be like, oh my god, I relate to that character? Still to this day, Vivi is the most likable and most lovable character in all Final Fantasy. And you tell me you want to remake that shit? I know you're not going to do it, Squirrel. I know you're not going to make it good. I know you're not going to make it what Final Fantasy IX used to be. So why are you remaking Final Fantasy IX? Stop it. Don't do it. You even want to make a fucking animated series of it. Yeah, because that worked perfectly with fucking the World Ends With You animated series. You gave no shit about that series. The fuck is on with you? I'm over here like, oh man, I can't wait for my friends to see this because you haven't played the game and shit like that. And there was nice and details about the show that they could point out. None of them. None of it. None of it. I stopped watching it. I told my friend, yeah, we should stop watching this shit because this anime doesn't do justice to the fucking game. Fuck this anime. Fuck it. Fuck the World Ends With You anime because it's shit. It's flat out shit. It is. Fuck you, Square. Fuck you, Square. That's how you mean to tell me you're going to make a fucking Final Fantasy IX remake in an animated series when you have countless fucking receipts of you being fucking terrible at this. So no, why should I get excited? Why should I fucking trust you? I am more excited of the Twisted Metal show and the Twisted Metal game that's coming than your fucking sorry ass. Because at least that shit looks like it's probably going to be good. It could still bomb. It could still be bad. But you know what? I guarantee you the Twisted Metal show and the Twisted Metal game, whenever that comes out, is going to be 10 times better than Final Fantasy 16 and the Final Fantasy 9 anime. And the Final Fantasy 9 remake that you're making. I guarantee you this. I'll say this right now. If Final Fantasy 9 has action RPG, that's how you know it's failed. That's how you know they didn't know how to make a fucking Final Fantasy. That's how you know they don't understand Final Fantasy. And that's how you know they don't give a fuck about the roots of Final Fantasy. Because they literally are making a game that is from the roots of Final Fantasy and they're making it action instead of turn-based. The fuck is wrong with you? Fucking dumbass pieces of shit.
What am I talking about exactly? Well, what I'm talking about are things like, why does Square Enix feel the need to continuously reuse the same summons from game to game? The same monsters from game to game.
Right, there's different summons.
Creatures from game to game.
And sometimes there's different ones.
The same fantasy tropes from game to game. The same storytelling tropes from game to game. Because they'll give you a change in setting. They'll give you a new group of characters. But it's really just the same story that's being told over and over again, just in slightly different ways from title to title. And going back to some of the summons and the creatures and the monsters and all that, why do we need chocobos in every single Final Fantasy game? For what reason? Why can't Square Enix come up with something new? Why do we need Shiva and Ifrit in every single Final Fantasy game? Why can't they come up with some new summons to replace those two? Or, put those two on the back burner for a change. Why do we need Malboros in every single Final Fantasy game? They do the same thing in every game. They have the same bad breath attack in every single game that they appear in. They have the same appearance in every single game that they appear in. And it looks like this one, they just ripped directly from Final Fantasy 15, which was reused for the Final Fantasy 7 remake, which is being reused again here. It's like a 20-foot plant-looking thing with a bunch of tentacles and big teeth. This isn't new. You see what the problem? See what I'm talking about? It's like none of this shit is new.
At least with Dragon Quest, you play some Dragon Quest games, and sometimes they have different enemies. They might bring some old enemies back, but overall, some Dragon Quest games, you have different enemies. And I'm just like, oh, cool. Because why? They're trying to make the other Dragon Quest games stand out from the other Dragon Quest games. Again, they might have some the same villains, like this, like the slime, the she slime, maybe the slime knight and stuff like that. But overall, we're going to get different monsters. Sometimes we might get woodland creatures as monsters in Dragon Quest, believe it or not. You know, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't, you know.
This is old shit that's being recycled from game to game. And that's the problem with Final Fantasy as a whole. The series is stuck in a loop that relies on nostalgia.
Yep.
The series is stuck within its own shadow.
Yep.
Based on the past glory of the previous games in the series that received critical acclaim. Square Enix feels the need to try and pander to their old audience who grew up playing the series, despite the fact that they're now making these games for a new audience.
Right.
Which is why they've abandoned the turn-based gameplay.
Yeah. And at that point, you abandon your original fans. So don't say that, oh, these are for the original fans. No, it's not. If it was for the original fans, you would have bought the turn-based system back, wouldn't you dumb motherfucker? Why? Why do you think people like Final Fantasy IX so much? Because it feels right at home for the other Final Fantasy games, you dumb idiot.
And it's like, if you're going to abandon core elements of the series, of what made the series popular in the first place,
thank you.
Then why don't you get rid of some of these other elements?
Yeah.
Like the same summons.
Like why do we have summons? Right. If you want to get rid of the turn base, get rid of the summons. Why not? Why have black mages? Why have knights? Let's get rid of everything then. And then guarantee you, at that point, Square would be like, well, it's not Final Fantasy without the chocobos and moogles. Well, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Whose fucking fault is that, you dumb motherfucking piece of shit? Did we saw a moogle in Final Fantasy VIII? No, we didn't. We saw like a feline type of thing that replaced the moogle. We still saw chocobos, but we saw something else. That's just an example. That's one of the reasons why I like Final Fantasy VIII, because there's certain things that were different from other Final Fantasy games that, you know, they decide to do differently, and that's fine, you know?
Being reused every game, or the same creatures being reused every game, or the same monsters being reused every game, and just go all out and actually make something that's new. The game may be called Final Fantasy XVI, but it's just a regurgitation of everything that's come before. And I guarantee, similar to Final Fantasy 15, they're going to have some story elements that are going to be reminiscent of one of the older games in the franchise. What is new here? Exactly. And then, as far as who's actually in charge of this, I'm not sure if it's the producer or the game director, but someone who worked on Final Fantasy 14 is apparently in charge of this. And as far as I know, the only game that person has worked on is Final Fantasy 14. And a lot of people are excited just because apparently Final Fantasy 14 is actually one of the better games that they've made recently. But Final Fantasy 14 is an online MMO, and this game clearly will not be that. So that really doesn't tell me anything.
Thank you.
I'm supposed to have faith in this game because whoever's in charge of it worked on Final Fantasy 14,
right? Which
is a very different game to what this game's going to be.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Thank you.
Now, speaking for myself personally, there's no way that I'm going to spend money on this game.
Yeah, I'm not.
Now, I'm not going to write the game off completely.
I am.
Because there are some things in the trailer
I just don't
that
care.
look like that it has promise.
I don't care.
Such as the more grounded character designs, the darker, grittier tone to it. But as far as having faith that the game is actually going to be above average quality,
I like the title.
No, I don't have any faith in that.
Other than that, I just don't give a fuck.
Why? Because it's a Square Enix game.
Yep.
That's why. Square Enix has been releasing bullshit for the past 20 years, with very few exceptions.
Yeah.
Look no further than their recent Avengers game that they came out with, which they turned into a nonsense games as a service title.
And I'm playing Guardians of the Galaxy. And to be honest, that is a good Square Enix game. Highly recommend playing that game. Seriously. I'm playing that game and I'm like, is this a new modern Square Enix game that's actually good? The world is ending. Fuck. Seriously. So if you want to play a good modern Square Enix game, play Guardians of the Galaxy. It's actually pretty good. The soundtrack is awesome. Soundtrack is fucking amazing. But other than that, I can't really recommend any modern Square Enix games besides what? Dragon Quest? And maybe the other games that came out before, like a long time ago, like the remasters and shit like that. But you guys can either buy those now or just go back and buy them somewhere else. Or maybe you already have them, you know? So there's that.
So they can monetize off of costumes and whatever else is in that piece of shit.
Right.
Like I said, I'm not writing the game off completely, but this is not a day one purchase. Not even close.
Nope.
The prime days of Final Fantasy, as far as this particular franchise goes, it's long in the past.
Yep.
And I don't see it coming back.
Right.
And you'll have fanboys that would disagree.
Right.
There's plenty of them out there.
Oh, Final Fantasies came back to it. When turn-based comes back, come back and talk to me. Especially when it's in a medieval fantasy and when I see a fucking red mage and a black mage. Traditional red mage, traditional black mage, traditional white mage, and traditional knight. Traditional monk and traditional thief. Come back and talk to me when they have those. When they don't, well, guess what? Don't fucking talk to me.
Who claim that Final Fantasy is one of the best franchises of all time, one of the best RPGs of all time. It's like it was surpassed as an RPG game, as an RPG series years ago. Maybe this one will be different. Maybe this one will be the one that brings the series back to its former glory. But people have been waiting for that for well over a decade, and it hasn't happened yet. So as far as having any faith, wondering if this game will be any good at all, honestly, if it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not.
It won't be.
I don't care.
It won't
There are better RPG games out there.
There really is.
One's coming out later this holiday season. It's called Cyberpunk 2077. So when Final Fantasy 16 comes out and it's the same.
To be honest, I'd rather play. This came out in 2020, but I'd rather play Cyberpunk 77 than Final Fantasy 16. Glitches and all. Hell yeah, I am dead fucking serious. Dead fucking serious.
Nonsense as what Square Enix has been doing with the series for well over the past 2 decades. I won't be buying it. I'll spend my money on a better game.
Right.
That knows what it wants to be.
Thank you.
Isn't trying to pander to nostalgia.
Yep.
Isn't trying to pander to a divided fan base.
Yep.
That doesn't even know what they want.
Right.
Or who they want it from.
Right.
So that's what my stance is on this game. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. Right now, I don't give a shit either way. As far as I'm concerned, Square Enix will never make a game as good as the original Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VI. Those are the 2 best games in the entire series. They haven't been surpassed since, and I highly doubt this game is going to surpass them now.
And that is it. Now, let's see. Is this stupid YouTuber talking about, for anyone that talks shit about Final Fantasy 16, I just need to tell you, you know, those type of YouTubers, oh, you think you're so fancy. Oh. Yeah, okay. Fucking privileged white boy. That's what you are. Yep, I said it. A privileged white boy. A privileged white boy. That's what you are. All right? Seriously. That's like having someone that lives in the ghetto and then someone that doesn't live in the ghetto and is like, oh yeah, what would you know about all of this stuff that's happening and shit like that? You don't know. I'm like, actually, I do know because I live in the ghetto. Not like you don't know shit because you live in the suburbs and you get the fuck everything you want because you white privilege bullshit. So, that's it. That's all. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later, and I'll upload this when it's done pending and all that stuff. The Pinocchio video will be uploaded, well, published, because it just got done pending today. So this might get done pending tomorrow. Oh, maybe later on. We'll see. We'll see. See you guys later. Take care. And if you need to comment more of how I feel about Final Fantasy or how you feel about Final Fantasy in general, put it down below. Thank you for commenting and thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys and see ya and be safe.